now we are going to do in this part of the video reduction of aldehyde and the ketones. So whenever we are talking about the reduction of aldehyde and ketones, okay, there are a few parts are there. Number one, we are going to do reduction to the alcohols, reduction to alcohols, and number two is a reduction to hydrocarbons. Okay, so we will do these one by one. So number one is here, that is reduction to alcohols. The students, whenever we are talking about the reduction to the alcohols, then क्या करना है इसमें हमने, देखो ध्यान रहे थे प्लीज़, ऑलरेडी हम करके आ चुके हैं ये, ठीक है. एल्डिहाइड इज देयर और कीटोन इज देयर. We just adding the reduction to the alcohol. This is a carbonyl group. Okay, now we are adding the H2 into that in the presence of lithium, aluminium hydride, platinum. Already we have done in the preparation of alcohol, I think so. Okay, then this is a C double bond O. ठीक है जी. फिर ये क्या बन जाएगा हमारे पास, let it be there is a CH3, let it be there is a H. क्या बन जाएगा ये प्रोडक्ट, CH3, ये C तो है ही हमारे पास, H, देन इट बिकम्स, ओ समझ आई मेरी बात, what I have done there, CH3 CHO was there, one H and one more H was there, CH3 CH2 OH we are getting. Same way we can do with the other also. This reaction already we have done, that is why I am not going to do explain it again. In the preparation of alcohols we have done. Okay, next is B part is there. It's B part is there, reduction to hydrocarbons. What is it? Reduction to the hydrocarbon, and under that, but a reduction to the hydrocarbon, under that its first part is here, Clemmensen reduction is a naming reaction. Clemmensen reduction. Okay, its B part is here, Wolff-Kishner reduction. Wolff-Kishner reduction. Okay, its C part is here, reaction with the HI, with the red phosphorus, So we will do all these reactions one by one. I'm going to start with the number one. Number one is here, Clemmensen reduction. What is it? Clemmensen reduction. So when we are going to study this Clemmensen reduction, usually we are doing it with a zinc amalgam and concentrated HCl. Okay, you must see, all of you, RCHO, and I am adding the hydrogen. Again, you just remember, it's very important, zinc amalgam means mercury and concentrated HCl, and what we are getting over there, you see, all of you, to this one, can I write like this, RCOH. Okay, then it becomes RCH3 plus H2. Okay, what we are getting? We are getting the alkane over here. CO group has been removed. At the place of CO group, 2 hydrogen came. Okay, beta. Then after that, we are going to do its B part. Its B part is there, that is Wolff Kirchner reduction. What is it? Wolff Kirchner reduction. So whensoever we are studying about the Wolff Kirchner reduction, you must see, all of you, in this case we can give the reduction with the basic solution of hydrazine. Let it be again RCHO. Then now only we have done hydrazine. This is a hydrazine, and in the hydrazine we know very well, in the ammonia derivative हमने reaction की थी बेटा, सेम बनाना है हमने. This is R will remain as it is, H double bond NH2 अभी करके आए हैं बेटा with the removal of water molecule. But this is not up to here only, we have to go further also. In this case we have to give its reaction with the KOH in the presence of glycol, in the presence of glycol. Now what to do there, क्या बनेगा यहाँ पर, you must see, all of you, बेटा from here N2 will be removed. This is 1H, this is 2H. So what is left there? RCH3 plus N2. Again hydrocarbon has been formed, means alkane has been formed. Because starting we have written reduction to the hydrocarbon. In the Clemmensen reduction also we have made alkane. In a Wolff Kirchner reduction also we are going to make the alkane. Okay, but now it's C part. You must see, all of you. It's C part. In the C part they told reduction with the HI. Again RCOH I am taking. Here the reduction with the hydrogen iodide. I told you, might be you remember it, कि whenever we are using red phosphorus, so 90% chances are there that there will be the formation of the alkane. What will be there? Formation of alkane. We can use a 4HI, then it will become R, 2 hydrogen will be there, CH3 plus H2O plus 2I2. This is called alkane. Clear, students? So this is all about the reduction we have done. What we have done? This is all about the reduction we have done. Clear? Okay, students, after that, after doing this, we are having a next one is here, oxidation reactions. What is it? Oxidation oxidation reactions. So whensoever we are talking about the oxidation reactions, okay, so first of all we should have to know very well that whensoever oxidation of aldehyde and ketone is there, then aldehyde can be oxidized very easily, but ketones cannot be oxidized easily. Okay, aldehyde oxidized very easily as compared to the ketones. The reason, what is the reason behind it? If we will compare this one, the reason behind it, oxidation of aldehyde in the presence of a hydrogen atom. See, I will explain you in a proper way. See what we are doing there. Let it be, we are writing over there this one RCOH. ठीक है, ये क्या आपके पास हाइड्रोजन है ना एक. तो when we are doing its oxidation, this hydrogen is there on the carbonyl group, which can be easily converted to RCOH. Without any cleavage we have changed. Without any cleavage, this H can be changed to OH. Okay, but in ketones it is RCOR. Okay, no free hydrogen is there like that. Okay, so you can't change, you can't do the oxidation easily. So for the oxidation of ketones we require a powerful or strong oxidizing agent like a KMnO4, K2Cr27. Like this way only we required. Clear? Are you getting my point? What I told you? We will study one by one. First of all, we will study oxidation of aldehyde. Then after that we are going to study oxidation of ketones. Now first of all, I'm going to do there oxidation of aldehydes. Now we know very well that aldehyde can be oxidized very easily. So that is why we required only weak oxidizing agent. What we required? Weak oxidizing agent is required. So usually what we are going to take over there, we usually take Tollens reagent. What we are taking? Tollens reagent. That you will do in a chemistry lab also, some experiment with the Tollens reagent. We will take Fehling solution. What we are going to take? Fehling solution. Same way, third one is a Benedict solution. These three we are going to take. Number one is Tollens reagent. Number two is Fehling solution. Number three is Benedict solution. These three are weak oxidizing agents. So let's do these reactions one by one. First of all, I'm going to do with the number one. Number one is Tollens reagent. Okay, student, I will tell you what is a Tollens reagent. It's a ammonical solution of silver nitrate. It is a ammonical solution of silver nitrate. Clear? And how we are preparing it? We are preparing it by adding the NH4OH to the silver nitrate. Okay, to the silver nitrate till the PPTs of gray PPTs of silver is not forming. Okay, yes or no? You see, all of you, I'm going to balance this equation. Please see, this is a 2NH4OH, then 2AgNO3. We are getting here Ag2O PPTs and gray PPTs, then NH2 moles of NH4NO3 side product plus H2O. Okay. Now what will happen there? This Ag2O, what is it? This Ag2O, what we are forming there, it will be dissolved. It will be dissolved in the NH4OH. And then what we are getting there? AgNH3 twice positive OH negative plus 3H2O. Okay, so this is the formula of Tollens reagent. What is the formula? AgNH3 twice OH negative. It is a formula of an Tollens reagent. Clear? किसका formula है? Tollens reagent. Just remember the formula of Tollens reagent. बस this reaction you learn or not learn, ये वाली जो बनाया है जैसे मैंने, preparation of Tollens reagent is never to be asked. You should have to know, but you should have to know the mainly formula of Tollens reagent. Okay, student. Now you see, all of you, what I am going to do there. Now I am going to make its reaction. See, this is RCOH. Okay, I am giving its reaction with the Tollens reagent. AgNH3 twice positive plus OH negative, and by the oxidation of this one, what we are getting? It is changed to carboxylate ion, then 2 silver plus 2 H2O plus 4 NH3. Okay, and this is called silver mirror. Actually, student, what is going to happening over there? Just I will tell you. Suppose in this test tube is there. In the test tube some solution is there. We are not knowing it's aldehyde or ketones. Let it be. We are adding some Tollens reagent. What we are adding there? We are adding some Tollens reagent to it. क्या ऐड कर रहे हैं? Tollens reagent. And after the Tollens reagent, after adding the Tollens reagent, what is going to happening over there? Silver color has been deposited on the walls of test tube like this. when silver color is deposited on the walls of test tube like this, which is called silver mirror test. What do you call it? Silver mirror test. Okay, and by this we can ensure that there is a presence of aldehyde. And student, just remember, both aliphatic and aromatic can give this reaction. Aliphatic aldehyde and aromatic aldehyde also can give this reaction. Clear? So this was the reaction with the Tollens reagent. Now after that, second part is here. Now I am going to do with the Fehling solution. With what? With the Fehling solution. Student, we should have to know first of all what is a Fehling solution. Fehling solution is made from the two solutions. Fehling solution A, Fehling solution A plus Fehling solution B. Okay, now Fehling solution A is a aqueous solution of copper sulfate. What is it? Aqueous solution of copper sulfate. And Fehling solution B is a alkaline solution of sodium potassium tartrate. Alkaline solution of sodium potassium tartrate. Sodium potassium tartrate is also called Rockley salt. What do you call it? Is also called, this sodium potassium tartrate is also called Rockley salt. Okay, just remember. So when we are mixing these two in an equal amount, this one and this one in the equal amount, then what we are getting? We are getting a Fehling solution. Okay, now we have to give this reaction with the aldehydes. Okay, you see, all of you please, what will be the reaction over there? You must see RCH, this is the aldehyde, and these copper 2 positive ion came from the Fehling solution. We have written it from the Fehling solution. Then 5OH negative ion. Then it is RCOO negative plus Cu2O plus 3H2O. And see, all of you, but here, what the Cu2O we have written there, this one, it is having a red brown PPT. What is it? A red brown PPT we are getting, or you can say reddish brown PPT we are getting, and aldehyde has been oxidized to the RCO negative. And just remember that aromatic, I'm saying, aromatic aldehydes do not give this test. Aromatic aldehyde will not give this test. Only aliphatic aldehyde will give this test. Which one? Aliphatic aldehyde will give this test. Aromatic will not give this test. Clear? Same way, after that we are having a third one is here, that is a Benedict solution. What is it? Benedict solution. So whensoever we are talking about the Benedict solution, it is almost same as that of the Fehling solution. Only the difference is here we are using alkaline solution of cupric, copper 2 positive ion with the citrate ion. With the previously it was the Rockley salt, now it is a citrate ion. This is the difference, and all the reaction will be same, PPTs will be same. It will react same way as it is reacted with the Fehling solution. Is that clear? Okay, students, so this was the oxidation of aldehyde. Now we are going to do oxidation with the ketones. What we are going to start? Oxidation of the ketones. I told you in the starting only that oxidation of ketone is very difficult, so we should have to use some strong oxidizing agent. Okay, so let's do it with one example over there. You must see, all of you. What example is there? Now let it be I am taking the unsymmetrical ketones, CH3, CH2, CH2, then CO, CH3 is unsymmetrical alkene है, ketones है. Why unsymmetrical ketones? Because here is 3 carbon, here is only 1 carbon. Now we can cleave the bond from the two ways. We can cleave from here also, we can cleave from here also. Clear? Now I will do the cleavage from the both way. Let it be I am doing the cleavage from the green side, green, यहाँ से cleavage कर रहा हूँ. Okay, if I will do the cleavage from there, then let's see what will be the product over there. Oxidation in the presence of strong oxidizing agent means concentrated HNO3. You please see, all of you, we are getting there CH3, CH2, then COOH plus CH3, COOH. Clear? Now you see, all of you, I am going to cleave from there, this side. Okay, now in the same, in the presence of concentrated HNO3, from cleavage from here, then the product you must see, all of you, then this whole will be included, this will, then it is CH3, CH2, CH2, COOH plus HCOOH we have made. Okay, like this way product we have made. Do you know what they are telling? They are telling this. What do we have made? We have made this one, this green wala, E wala. They are saying this is a major product and this is a minor. Do you know why they are saying like that? They are saying when we are doing the cleavage, of the green color, then what is going to happening over there? If you will see it very, very carefully, then you will get to know there that this is the C double bond O. Then when you do the cleavage of the green color, when we are doing the cleavage of green color, then this one, let it be, just wait, this cleavage we are doing, then CO will remain, this CO group will remain with the smaller alkyl group. CO group will remain with the smaller alkyl group. Actually, it's according to the Popov rule. In case of unsymmetrical ketones, cleavage usually occur in such a way that keto group should be with the smaller alkyl group. So when we are doing the cleavage from there, then this keto group is with the smaller alkyl group. So just remember one thing, according to Popov's rule. Which rule is there? Popov's rule. What they are saying, in case of unsymmetrical cleavage, in case of unsymmetrical ketones, cleavage always occurs in such way that keto will stay with smaller alkyl group, with a smaller alkyl group. Keto group will stay with a smaller alkyl group. I hope it's clear to you, to all. Okay, beta? Is that clear to you, to all? Fine. So after the oxidation of aldehyde and ketone, now we are having one more is there, that is the oxidation of, that is very, very important reaction. Oxidation of sodium hypohalite. So So whensoever we are talking about the sodium hypohalite, okay, it is also known as a haloform reaction. What it is known as? Haloform reaction. Okay, so let's see, we'll do this reaction. In this case, what is going to happening over there? Let it be. Students, might be you remember over there, we are making the iodoform over there. Okay, it's like that only. This reaction is like same way, almost like that only. Then what to do there? What is the sodium hypohalite? क्या होता है? NaOH is known as a sodium hypohalite. Then what to do there? Here you please see, I am writing there CH3CHO plus 3I2, let it be, and with the NaOH, what I am getting there? Ci3 CHO plus 3Hi. Okay, means at the place of this H3 we are getting Ci3, then this Ci3 CHO we are getting there NaOH. Okay, then here we are getting CHI3. What we are getting over there? CHI3 plus HCONA. CHI3 is known as iodoform. What is known as iodoform, which is having a येलो कलर PPT. आपको याद होगा हमने एक ओवरऑल रिएक्शन लिखी थी बेटा सीधी. नाउ आई हैव रिटन द रिएक्शन इन द 2 steps. वी आर गेटिंग द iodoform. बेटा एज वी हैव फॉर्म द iodoform देयर, ठीक है, सेम वे वी कैन फॉर्म हेयर chloroform. What we can use? Chloroform. At the place of I, what we can take? We can take Cl2. Okay, we can take Br2. Like this way we are going to make over there. Iodoform we can make chloroform, we can make bromoform. Is that clear to you to all? And just remember one thing, as I told you previously also in the iodoform test, for the iodoform test, that iodoform test or haloform reaction can be distinguished by the methyl ketones. Those reactant will contain methyl ketone, only that one will give this reaction, only that is going to give this reaction. And in case of iodoform, it is also called iodoform test. So I am going to explain you a little bit. You please see, all of you, they are saying now, okay, see, all of you please, we can distinguish between for the carbonyl compound by the iodoform test, okay. Now you must see there few example I am going to write over there, okay. Now okay, you must see, suppose I'm writing there this one, I'm writing there CH3 CO CH2 CH3. They are asking, this reactant will give the iodoform test? Yes, it will give, because it contains CH3CO group. Now one more I am writing, let it be, I am writing this one CH3 CH2 CO CH2 CH3. This one will give iodoform test? No. Why? Because it is containing CH3 CH2 CO. We want CH3 CO. Clear hai? Same way I am giving you some more examples. See, all of you, ethanol will give a iodoform test? Yes. Why it will give a iodoform test? Why it will give? Because when you do its reduction, it is going to form CH3COH. तो CH3CO group is there or not there? हमने अल्कोहल में पढ़कर आए हैं, हम क्या पढ़कर आए थे? CH3CHOH. Those who contain this one CH3CHOH, they will give a they will give a iodoform test. So it is going to give a iodoform test. Same way, suppose I am writing the ketones. Will they give? Yes, definitely, because they are containing CH3CO group. Okay, in case of aldehyde or ketone, CH3CO, and in case of alcohol, CH3CHOH. They are going to give the iodoform test. Clear, students? Yes or no? We can distinguish. Now see, suppose HCHO is there, CH3CHO is there. Which one will give iodoform test? This one will give? No, this one will give, because it contains CH3CO group. Okay, same way you must see, all of you. Okay, this one CH3CH2OH and CH3OH. Which one will give? Ethanol will give the iodoform test. This one will not give, because this is containing CH3CHOH group. Understood my point now, all of you? We can distinguish by this one. Same way, one more example I am writing in front of you. C6H5CHO, and here I am writing C6H5COCH3. Now tell me which one will give? Yes, obviously this is containing COCH3 group, so this one will give iodoform test. This is not going to give a iodoform test. Same way, one more example I will tell you. Suppose here I am writing butane 1-ol, CH3CHOH, CH2CH3. This is butane 2-ol, and here I am writing CH3CH2CH2OH. This is butane 1-ol. Now tell me, this one will give butane 1-ol? No, it will not give. This is going to give, because this is containing CH3CHOH. Okay, students, this was the iodoform test what we have done. Okay, thank you very much.